Welcome to another top 10 list. These are my top 10 favorite characters voiced by Todd Haberkorn. Yep, a guy who I've met. And there's one series I'm going to get into soon that he has a voiceover for. Probably won't make the list right now. May make the list in the future. It might take one of the spots, but who the heck knows. Okay? Yeah. Now, there's a few honorable mentions and a few dishonorable mentions. I have to mention a few of them. Some I haven't even heard the dub for these characters. At least three of these series. Hunter x Hunter, the character Judy, who was the bomber for the Green Island arc. I did not hear it because, well, I didn't watch the dub for it because I had watched the sub and I was kind of wanting to get through the series. So I haven't watched this, but I wanted to put it on here because he was in the series and I have watched Hunter x Hunter. So there's that. Same thing for Naruto Shippuden. He voiced the Six Tails monkey. Yep. And of course, on the dub for Boruto, he voices Shikidai, the Shunchika Morrow. I had to point those two characters there. The other two characters, now on the dishonorable mention, we have Salim Din Hafiz from Black Clover and from One Punch Man, Drive Knight. In the case of these two characters, in the case of Salim, he only appears for about 3 episodes. He's an arrogant prick. He's really bit corrupt, and I have nothing against him. Todd Haberkorn did a fantastic job voicing him. But the character was useless anyways. I mean, he only appeared for like one episode, one chapter in the manga. He never appeared again. I mean, he appears again in a filler episode, which is really kind of weird. There's that. Yeah, not much to say. Drive Knight appeared for one episode. That's the reason I'm putting down dishonorable mention, is because he appeared for one episode, and there was nothing much to the character anyways. Kind of similar to what happened with Chris and Bond in their series. Okay, now on to the top 10. First up, at number 10 is actually a tie between two characters from two different series. One is the character Morrow from Attack on Titan. Yeah, he's one of the people from the military police who actually assisted the Supreme Court in overthrowing the government. And he's a really interesting character. He wanted to get all the corruption, but I didn't get a chance to hear the dub for season 3 yet. But I'm probably gonna watch it at a later date. But yeah, the guy is the character's quite interesting. Yep, and of course, for Sam Crystal, it's Gothor. He's actually one of the villains for the first arc of the series, and he was voiced by Todd Haberkorn. I was a little surprised to hear him in a Viz Media. This was actually one Viz Media application, a Viz Media production. I actually know that it was him, definitely, but it was actually probably the second one I've actually heard him in, because he was also in Naruto Shippuden as well, which is a Viz Media production. Yeah, it's kind of weird though that the guy who is basically noteworthy for doing a lot of Funimation productions does Viz Media as well. I didn't get a chance to talk about it very much when I saw him last. The only Funimation series, the only Viz Media series I did talk to him about was Bleach. That was the only one I did talk to him about. I did talk about a few others, but yeah. There's that. Number 9 is Akio from Tokyo Ghoul, and he's also in Re as well. Yeah, the brother of the love interest of the main character. Yeah. And he does a pretty damn good job voicing him. He's quite interesting. I mean, he's also a member of the Algeria Retreat. He popped up actually in this episode as well, but I haven't a chance to hear the dub yet for this particular portion of it. So yeah, there's that. He hasn't really appeared all that much in these episodes. No, he appeared a lot in the original Tokyo Ghoul, but these ones. In number 8, we have Android 19 from Dbz Kai. I did talk to Todd Haberkorn about this character. It's kind of weird that he voiced this character, especially since he voiced another Dragon Ball character a little bit later. But yeah, he was talking about he died the worst way possible, being killed by Vegeta. Well, first he had his arms ripped off, and then he got blasted by Vegeta. Which, agree, being killed by Vegeta is the worst way to die. Especially since Vegeta is known for having the highest body count of the entire series, who's not a villain. Yeah. I had to throw him on here because I actually kind of like Dbz Kai, and I have watched this thing. It's quite interesting to hear him talk about the big Android 19. He was the chubby android. Yeah, and this is the guy who was Haberkorn. Number 7 is Korza from One Piece. He only appeared for one strike, and he popped up a couple more times since then. Yeah, he was pretty much one of the big supporting characters for the Alabasta arc, which is by far one of the best arcs the whole series. And of course, he did have a brief account with Luffy And he himself is a fantastic character. I love what they did with him in the anime, where they give a backstory and the fact he's no friend of Vivi, the princess of the country. And I have the strange theory that she's actually in love with him. That she really, despite all the possible suitors that her father, King Cobra, really wants her to marry, I'm sure she wants the Minister of the Environment. She wants him, which he became Minister of the Environment in the sub. Yeah, it'd be kind of weird. Like, I bet Todd would be like, when does this character pop up again? Oh, he pops up for this one episode. Yeah, it's weird that he pops up for like one episode. I think he pops up for at least for 1 or 2 episodes after the Alabasta arc, and that was actually during the whole start of the Revere stuff. I believe was during season 16. I believe it was. Yeah, 16. It was the season they wrapped up Punk Hazard before they went to Dressrosa. But yeah, I'm looking forward to whenever he gets to do that. Alright? Number 6 is Jaco from Dragon Ball Super. Yeah, I didn't initially know this was him until I saw the picture of this character when I went to Comic-Con last month. But yeah, he is by far a blast of a character to watch, and how much of a coward he is, and the fact he's Bulma's punching bag. Yep. All because of stuff he says or does. Yeah. Though his last actual appearance in the series was a one-off 2-parter before the Universal Survival Tournament involving Great Sandman. It's great. It was great to see him. I mean, he popped up in Resurrection F. Of course, popped up in the film anyways. And in the arc adaptation. The other arcs he popped up for was Resurrection F, Universal Survival, the Kappa Vegeta arc, and pretty much the post-Trunks saga episodes. To me, about 2 episodes. In the case of Universe 6, he popped up for about 2 episodes, and that was it. That's all they did with the character. And of course, they brought him back for Kappa Vegeta for about a few episodes, and of course, those 2 episodes in Universal Survival in post-Trunks. My guess is that the animators probably really enjoyed the character, and that's probably the reason why they brought him back. But always a fun character, and it's probably nice though the fact that they actually got a chance to use him even afterwards because, well, they got past the adaptations of the film, so why do something original? So we'll just bring the character back. And he's a character to watch. Yep. Number 5 is Lin Yao from Foma Alchemist Brotherhood. Yep, that's number, what was it, 5 I said? Yeah, it was number 5. He by far was quite an interesting character, and he has the common trope in anime where he can basically see where he's going despite having his eyes closed. Yeah, and he was also possessed by a homunculus throughout most of the series. But he is by far a good ally of the main character, and it's quite nice to see him actually, do some fighting. Despite the fact he took over the homunculus of greed, I think I may agree with him. And of course, he got freed from it. And of course, his female bodyguard, who actually developed, it was heavily implied that his female bodyguard in the series actually developed an attraction to him. But it's unknown when any place. But he was always by far a fun character to watch, and I love his interaction with Eric in the series because these two would constantly argue like crazy. Yeah, it's too bad though in Dragon Ball Super Jaco never countered Champa. That would have been something because Champa was voiced by the same guy who voices Eric from Fullmetal Alchemist. Give it what you will. Number 4 is Takahamaru from Toriko. Yeah, this series I also talked to Todd Haberkorn. One of the first series I actually a handful of things. Probably the first thing I talked to him about. Yeah, probably aside from Fairy Tail, like I asked him why did the dub end for Toriko, and he told me the reason why it ended is because it didn't sell too well. That's the reason why it ended. But yeah, I really enjoyed him voicing his character because he was by far outside of the 4 Heavenly Kings. He's probably one of the best allies, probably one of the best characters of the series who was not the main character, because they had this guy appear a lot. They first have him show up in the arc when they go to the Glacier Freezer when they counter people from the Gourmet Corps, and he by far is a great character, and I love it where even though this scene wasn't dubbed, but yeah, it was great seeing the Gourmet Knight teaming with the Gourmet Mafia to take on the Gourmet Corps. That was awesome. It would have been great also if Todd Haberkorn went with Dbz. I'm sure he probably would have loved to finish dubbing it, but because of sales, that's the reason why the dub stopped. And I just really enjoy this character. I just really wanted him to finish. Because it's kind of sad to see a series like Toriko, like the anime, great anime, even though I had sort of a terrible ending to it, but the dub was fantastic. I watched like good 50 episodes of the series dubbed, and then I watched the dub, the sub, which was kind of weird. Alright. Next up is a series I actually watched recently. Dbz Man, one of two series I've watched so far where Todd Haberkorn plays the main character. Another one basically is in this list as well. This guy is fantastic. This guy's got an artificial arm. Well, it's a weapon. And this guy gets a tremendous amount of development over the course of the series. And he gets himself a love interest. In the form of a woman. Basically, his love interest is a woman who's 1 year older than he is. And here's kind of the thing about his character. Even though the series wasn't made by the same studio who made Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood, the style was very similar. And the fact his character was very similar to that of Eric Alrit, the actual Fullmetal Alchemist from Brotherhood. Yeah, it's very similar because Eric is poking fun at him about that he's short, despite Lena Lee actually being shorter than he is. And I didn't mind them changing his outfit for the final season of the series that's aired, but he was by far a great character, and I love the development that Todd Haberkorn gave him in this series. Though I had started watching the series after I saw Todd Haberkorn at Comic-Con. And I love his little friend, Tim Campy. It's one of like a couple's... Yeah, it's one of two series in a row I actually watched with Todd Haberkorn in it, voicing a character. We have this character... You have this little mini character who follows the main character around. He usually sits on top of his head or a character he knows in the series. It's kind of the same thing in Black Clover, but he's not the voice of the main character. But yeah, he's always a really great character to watch. I kind of wish they would continue the anime, but because the series suffered through hiatuses, we can't exactly get it. And plus, there's only been 21 chapters released for this whole arc. I mean, since the anime ended back in 2 years ago, they haven't released that many amount of chapters. Yeah, not many chapters released since the series ended. Number 2 from Soul Eater, Def the Kid. This is even one of Todd Haberkorn's favorite characters to voice. Yeah, by far yeah, I loved what Todd Haberkorn did with this character. So much life he gave to this character, and the fact he was so true to how he was in the manga. Unlike the ending of the series, which was kind of stupid. And he agreed with me that the ending was completely stupid for the series. Because the ending of the series was basically the main character, Maka, punching the main villain really hard in the face and him exploding. Seriously, that's the ending of the series? Yeah, I'm sure a lot of people were very angry at that ending. I told Todd Haberkorn about it. I mean, yeah, he does agree with me Soul Eater was a fantastic anime, but he does also agree that the ending was garbage. Yeah. Of course, any of the series he worked on, yes, but even he probably agreed the ending was terrible. I even kind of told him I liked the manga ending better to the series than the anime. Yeah, and plus, it's just by sheer coincidence that he actually worked with people from Fairy Tail who voiced the two sisters who transform into guns. Yes. That was the thing about Def the Kid, was the fact he was the son of the Grim Reaper and his weapons were pistols. Awesome. Probably by far the only character I've seen where his weapon is a gun. Actually one of two, though these are actual guns. Jaco uses a ray gun. Almost every other character he's voiced, I mean, take a look at the characters he's voiced. I mean, all the characters he's voiced, he uses sword, some of his body. But in the case of Def the Kid, the only one used actual guns. A lot of them didn't really use guns at all, or hardly any weapons at all. But now to move on to my number 1 favorite character, kind of like what it was calling Clickin' Beard, somewhat quite obvious. Even this for him, this is probably his favorite character he's ever voiced of his whole career. I'm talking about not the Dragon Slayer from Fairy Tail, Natsuo Dragono. Yeah. And plus, Todd Haberkorn has a bit of a striking resemblance to the character he voices. I'm not kidding. His face is very similar to that of the character he voices. Plus, his hair is very similar. We have a different color, but it's very similar style to that of the character, which is quite unusual. You don't see that very often when you meet dub actors, and they're quite similar to the character they play on TV. Yep. And plus, he's probably the only character I've seen who's voiced by Todd Haberkorn who actually wears sandals. Yes, seriously. Natsu Dragonel wears flip-flops. And he does this the whole series. He doesn't wear shoes at all. Because you look at every single character he's played, he's always wear like boots or some kind of shoes. Natsu wears flip-flops. And wears a jacket with one sleeve on it. Yeah. Though it used to their sleeve used to be short at one point. It used to be like a vest, and then it was like a long sleeve. Then he got rid of the long sleeve, and then went back to long sleeve again. But when he came back from his recent, like in the first episode of the dub before the final season, he has his arm bandaged up. Now he's much more powerful now than he was used to be. He's always very funny to watch, and even he agrees that the OVA should have been dubbed. He doesn't even know why the OVAs for Fairy Tail were never dubbed. But even he agrees they should have been dubbed. Because he says he would love to do more Fairy Tail. And I agree. I'd love to see him do more Fairy Tail. At least he kind of knows about the OVA. That was the last thing I asked him before I left this booth, because I'm sure there's other people behind me who really want to get an autograph from him. I was talking to him for a good, I'd say about 5 minutes. Yeah, it was a little bit of a while. It was like a good 5 minutes I talked to him. Good conversation. And also, when I was talking about the scene from the Grand Magic Games when Lucy got turned butt naked by that dragon, then she got thrown at Natsu, he said that brought a smile to his face. Any viewer probably would agree with that. It brought a smile to their face when they saw a naked Lucy being thrown at Natsu. Yeah, it was by far one of the most hilarious things of the entire series. Plus, I love when he does the whole, like, fire dragon roar. Like, I've got fire in my belly. Yeah, I love all his catchphrases that he gives the character. And the fact he makes the character, like, probably the best character of the whole series, aside from Urza. And he's also my favorite male character of the whole series. Yeah, one of, like, two I can think of where I could have done a top 10, which I haven't done it for yet, where the lead character is my favorite male character of the whole series. A lot of the time it's one of the other characters, but this series, it's Natsu. Because he's an awesome character and he's really strong. And the fact that the guy can also indirectly cause a lot of collateral damage, and I do mean a lot of it. Though a lot of the time, before I even watch One Piece, yeah, this series basically got me into... Watching Fairy Tail got me into Todd Haberkorn's career, despite the fact I have watched a couple of series with him prior to this. But this basically launched me. This character, Natsu Dragonel, got me into Todd Haberkorn's voice career, basically watching other series with him in it. So it's like anytime I see him, like a series might be interesting, when I see his voice, he was credited as a voice of him, voicing a character in the series, I am instantly hooked and I'm on it. He's one of the very few I've actually done it for, along with Colin Clickenbeard and Christopher Sabat. Yeah. Otherwise, that's really it for this particular top 10. So, until I see you all tomorrow for my review of the second to last arc of the Raid Master anime, so see you there. Bye.